It's good to see you guys.
The last time we actually had an interview, I believe it was like, you know, your modeling, your shows, your TV stuff.
Yeah, it was right when I started working a little bit in TV. Oh my gosh, so much has happened since then, you guys.
I know, but the most incredible thing is this song, Stay Crazy. I mean, that's amazing. First of all, what made you decide to sing? And make a song, make an album?
You have a great voice, by the way.
Yeah, you do. You have
a great voice.
I love the song. I was just moved. I had to listen to it a couple of.
We are always dancing to it over here.
Yeah, I was dancing to it last night.
The great thing about music is it's timeless. I mean, the music itself can kind of shift in what's hot and what's not, but it's
You're
timeless.
Right about
and you know, like my kids and my grandkids will be able to listen to my song.
But what made you decide not only to sing, but also for mental health? I mean, this song has a lot to do with that.
It does. Yeah. So Stay Crazy, it comes out on May 1st, and that is to kick off Mental Health Awareness Month. I decided to make a song for everybody, and mental health is something that I've always struggled with. I've always been a big advocate for it. So
it's huge.
Yeah, it's huge. It's a crisis. And I started, going to different websites. I did research on different illnesses, and one that really stuck out to me was bipolar disorder. People with bipolar, they experience the highs of the highs and the extreme lows of the lows. So I liked that kind of contrast, and I wanted my first verse to kind of paint a picture of that depression, and the second verse to kind of paint that manic state. I wrote the song just to remind us that to not take the good times for granted, but also not to take the bad times too hard, because life is just a constant waves, a constant wave of ups and downs. I've never properly been diagnosed with a mental illness, but I definitely suffer from depression and anxiety at times. And I think we all can attest to the feeling of, we all have those days when we just wake up and can't physically get out of bed because you're feeling so down in the dumps.
I have to tell you, during this quarantine, during this entire time period with COVID, a lot of people are very anxious, very depressed, because they're frightened also. And I have to be, even myself, I find myself some days I can't get out of bed. And that's why I'm so happy that we're talking to you about this, because just listening to your song and seeing the words, flashing on the screen and seeing what they mean, it was just, it was a little bit of happy right there.
Good.
And I think it's so awesome that you're kicking off Mental Health Awareness Month with that Stay Crazy song, because it will inspire people. My mother was bipolar, and my sisters and I grew up in a household with this manic mother who was constantly up and down. We didn't know what was wrong with her. She only was diagnosed later on in life. Great. So, but her version of bipolar disorder and someone else's version of bipolar disorder can be different. It depends on the chemical makeup in your brain. But all in all, it adds to mental health awareness. So that's fantastic that you've taken taken it and you're doing something to possibly help people. And that's an amazing thing.
I can't move, can't get out of bed.
But let me just ask you, the process of actually making the song, working with the producers that helped you along, the process in making the song, how did you do that? How was that even?
It was a bizarre experience as like a first timer. I don't have a background in music. I just sing, and I started a small YouTube channel, doing song covers over the past 6 months, kind of getting people ready for this.
I saw a couple. Really good.
Did the words come first?
No.
The music?
So the producer's name is Electropoint. He's amazing. His studio's right here in Manhattan, 10 blocks from where I am now. And he's known for electronic pop and dance music, and also movie scores and TV show scores. I told him from the beginning, I was like, I've never made a song before. I just sing along with the radio. And he was like, okay, so I have a pretty great plan for someone in your position. If you don't have any lyrics really written, you don't have any ideas for music, let's go to the music charts right now and pick 3 to 5 of the songs off, you know, the pop dance charts that you would like your song to either sound like or play along next to in a playlist or on the same radio station. So I did that, and I gave him an Ava Max reference, a Taylor Swift reference from her new album, and Chainsmokers reference.
Oh, okay.
So I gave him those 3 songs, he listened to them, and then created a track for me based on that. So then I took that track and listened to it a gazillion times and started finding melodies and like words and what I wanted to say. I wanted it to have a message, because I hear so many songs out there that are just like talking about money and sex and nothing that's really helpful. I went into the studio with like a 70% finished song. And what I love about working with Electropoint, and really everybody that I work with, is that it ends up being a collaboration and everybody kind of throws their ideas in the pot. So I don't know, working with him was really, really great, because our collaboration together, we wrote the bridge together, and he told me, he was like, I love these lyrics of the second verse. It's a great metaphor for life. I'm all in, can't lose this bet, totally high, sleep deprived. So he kind of sold me on that, and I was like, okay, we'll keep that. So it goes out for pre-order on April 23rd, and between April 23rd and May 1st, the pre-order on iTunes is crucial, because that'll determine if we hit the charts, and if we do, where on the charts we will hit on May 1st. So
when
we're hoping.
Listen to this, I didn't mean to interrupt you,
No.
But when I listened to this song, it sounded like a hit to me right away. I totally connected with it, you know.
And I have to tell you, I played it for my husband because he's totally non-biased. He wouldn't know one way or the other. Mm-hmm. And he loved it. He thought it sounded like a professional tune, a professional song. It's something that he would listen to. That's his kind of thing. It's his kind of music.
Oh, good.
He loved it. He thought it was incredible. And that is huge coming from him, because he's just a guy. You know what I mean? Listening to a song.
That makes me so happy.
Yeah, I'm like, listen to this song, you know? And then I told him, I'm like, this is Thomas's song. So it was exciting. Yeah, it was great. He loved it. He thought it was great.
That's so good to hear.
Mara loved it too. I just have to tell you, I did play it for Mara.
Oh, yeah, I was going to ask how she's doing.
Oh, she's fantastic. And she loved your song, and she's so happy for you. So proud of you. I mean, just thrilled. So I just wanted you to know that.
Thank you. Don't know whether to laugh or to scream. Somebody said. You know, a fun thing that I decided to do is a portion of all pre-orders. So during April 23rd to May 1st, a portion of all pre-orders are going to go towards a mental health charity. And throughout my research, there was one that really caught my eye. And over the past few months, it's really provided me with some just literary resources. And it's kind of helped bring my anxiety down. The charity is called Mental Health America. And
I love it.
I learned a lot just through reading some of their, they call it Tools to Thrive.
Oh, I love that. Tools to Thrive.
Yeah, it's just this, it's a long PDF telling you like different ways of how you can take care of yourself and your mental health. So like I learned it's important to just recognize your feelings and your emotions instead of blocking them out, ignoring them, 100%. Sweeping it under the rug. That's something I've really been kind of working on myself, is allowing myself to feel, even if drama comes along with it. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, 100%. You really have to, in order to actually get through it and thrive, you have to go through it.
Exactly.
And so that's
and bottling up your emotions is never good. It always
then
leads
you'll
to
explode.
Yeah, absolutely will.
You'll explode. And that's not fun for anybody.
Not for anybody.
Trust me, I know.
Yeah, it's just easier to just listen, go through it, and be done.
Much faster that way.
or call a friend, someone who you trust and are able to open up to,
and then
talk it out. Exactly.
Yeah, talk it out, get it off your mind.
Journaling has helped me. A lot of my lyrics are, this is my journaling, or it has been for the past year.
That's excellent. Yeah, I journal and I really recommend that. It's very important. You need to be able to unload.
Definitely. Removing like toxic influences from your life too has been like something major that I've worked on over the past like 5 years. Just people who make you feel bad, you know?
It's interesting that you should say that. Sometimes you think the person is a friend, but the person's really not a friend. They're just a toxic person in your life that once that person's out, you realize how much better you feel about yourself and how much better you feel about what's going on in your life. You know what I mean?
I know exactly what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That confidence comes back.
What were some of the toxic things, over the last couple of years that you finally recognized were toxic? And what did you do about to rid yourself of the toxicity?
It was mostly just like conversing with these like different people on a regular basis. You kind of find out which ones make you feel good about yourself and which ones kind of bring you down. They just manipulate you and yeah, they suck out all the positivity.
But the truth is that you don't even realize that's happening until you take a step back and actually, visualize that in your mind. You don't realize that's happening because it's little bits at a time that they do that.
And more than half of the time, the people that are doing that to you, they're doing that because they feel so bad. They're down here and you're up here, and they're trying to
bring you down
to their level.
Or bring themselves up to yours, yeah.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I guess it's just important to recognize those influences in your life and then just to start distancing yourself from them. You don't have to cut them out completely.
Sure.
We just spend way too much time focusing on how to change ourselves, whether it's the way we look or the way we feel. And we spend so much time working towards that certain benchmark that society has for us to feel accepted. And I just think we should all just stay crazy and love who we are and who we are as we are. And, once you have that love for yourself, the rest comes pretty easy. The rest doesn't matter.
You are absolutely right. When you talk about love, you have to love yourself first. Otherwise, who else could love you if you don't love yourself?
That's the truth. Yeah, you can't love anybody else unless you love yourself.
As RuPaul says, if you can't love yourself, how the hell you gonna love anybody else? Can I get an amen? Is that right? I don't know.
Sounds good to me.
I might have to cut that out if it's wrong.
You did it great. You did it great.
You got that good head movement there. I like that.
Wow, Thomas. Well, good for you.
Don't know whether to laugh or to scream. Somebody said.
So let me just ask you this then. With everything that you have going on with this song, what other projects are you also working on? Are you working on an album? Are you working on, what else are you doing to enhance this?
So you asked about my songwriting process, and one thing that Electropoint, my producer, said is you have to build momentum. You have to put your next song out like ASAP. And when I started and I moved out to LA, I brought this book with me. And it is full of just lyric ideas. Woo. My friend Casey will love this. She came to visit me in LA and we had a songwriting session, but I was in the middle of moving out and I'd already shipped my car full of all my stuff. So we used my old mail to take notes.
Oh, that's great.
You really are truly a natural talent.
Thank you, Anthony. while writing the song, I kind of started 75. Yeah, so I have lots of ideas to answer that question. Nothing is currently in the works, but I've been focusing all my time and attention on this project.
You're so creative, and you're so knowledgeable, on so many things that I always say, be the very, very best you can be, and you fit that to
capacity.
absolutely.
Always.
Everything for
Thank you.
all the time that Alyse and I have known you, you have always gone above and beyond, and you have always been the very best you could be and more. And we so admire that in you.
Absolutely.
Well, we love you
guys.
100%.
That's so nice to hear. I love you guys
100%.
so much too. There's a discipline for passion. I was watching a clip of Oprah and Lady Gaga from a summit they were at a few months ago, and I wrote it down. Oprah was saying there's a discipline for passion, and it's not about how many times you get rejected or you fall down or get beaten up. It's about how many times you stand up and are brave and you keep on going. And I so believe in that, and I've believed in that probably ever since the day I moved to New York City. I'm so happy I started this whole creative journey with modeling, because that made my skin so tough at an early-ish age that I was able to handle all the rejection that, the music or the modeling industry, which then led to acting. There's so much rejection in the acting industry as well. Like if these past 7 years of living in New York City were for nothing, they sure as hell built my bones strong, and I found the love of my life in the process.
Yes, you did.
And met some awesome people.
Yes, you did.
Yes, you did.
It's been a really cool journey, and I'm you're asking what's next. I honestly have no idea, but I'll be sure you'll be the first to know when I do.
Well, we will talk about it.
Things are constantly evolving up here. So.
That's awesome. Well, good for you. Good for you. We wish you the best. We're proud of you. We're happy for you. And we'll help you in any way we possibly can.
That's the truth.
Right back at you.
Thank you.
Back at you. Thank you so much for talking with me.
Always.
And for asking all the right questions. I hope that you all stay safe, stay healthy, and stay crazy.
Too. Always.
Stay crazy.
We love you.
We love you, Thomas. Take care, my friend.
I love you guys.